Pleasant greetings to you. Let's talk about the search for the heart of immortality. In Filipino, ang puso ng forever. Let's delve into cryonics. What is cryonics? Cryonics is the business of freezing the dead in hopes that future technology will bring them back to life. What do you think? Unfortunately, future science and technology have become little gods for a number of people who love earthly life so dearly to the point of not letting go. And yes, we too may be engaged in this useless search for immortality if we refuse to let God be God of our lives. Robert Antinger, the father of cryonics, says, "Being born is not a crime and it doesn't deserve the penalty of death." He asks, "When are you dead?" You're dead if you are never revived. So whether you are dead now does not depend on your condition now. It depends on your condition in the future. Talaga ba? Do we really die? Di ba we live for eternity because we have spirits that are eternal? There are new accounts of near-death experiences that attest to the reality of our spirits living on beyond the death of the body. Death or kamatayan, being physically dead, is not a penalty at all, nor a punishment. But let me tell you, having a frozen heart while being alive, ayan ang unnecessary self-inflicted punishment that leads to death, real death. We hear the good news from the Gospel of Luke. God is not God of the dead, but of the living, for to Him all are alive. Hindi siya Diyos na mga patay, kundi na mga buhay, at buhay na kasama niya silang lahat. The happy truth is, we are already immortal. Our spirit lives on. We should rather be concerned about the very heart that we have, where the immortal God dwells. My dear friends, how is your heart today? Frozen na ba? O cold pa lang? Sana warmly beating for God pa rin. Here are some marks to know kung frozen na ang heart mo. Any one sign you notice should tell you to get warmth from the source, the fire of divine love. The first mark is fatalism. All events are fated to happen so that human beings cannot change their destinies. Fatalism may come in the form of determinism and predeterminism. Kung ano ang mangyayari ay tiyak na mangyayari. Wala kang magagawa. Ganyan ang kapalaran mo eh. It says that free will does not exist. Meaning, therefore, that personal or social history can only progress in a determined or predetermined manner possible. Determinism says that you don't really choose anything. Your choice are automatic responses to outside conditions and stimuli. The second mark of a frozen heart is rabid lust for power and control. This translates, of course, to greed. The frozen heart is the convenient residence of the capital sin of greed. Ito ay mapusok na kasakiman para sa kapangyarihan at dominasyon. The third mark of a frozen heart is an obnoxious or very offensive and unpleasant ABC or attitude, behavior, and character. Ito yung nakakapuot, nakakasakit, at nakakayamot na sa loobin, pag-uugali, at pagkatao. A frozen heart is boastful, glorifying oneself in speech, Of course, we saw this last week in Phariseeism, remember? The frozen heart always places oneself as the norm for comparison. A frozen heart also possesses a domineering character. The fourth mark of a frozen heart is having a Sadducite mindset, meaning he or she is religious but sanctimonious. Anong ibig sabihin ng sanctimonious? This person makes exaggerated show of holiness or moral superiority. This person loves the scriptures by the letter to the point of sacrificing common sense. All of life is the here and the now. No such thing as life after death. No resurrection. Also, since the Sadducites or Sadducs or Sadducees favored accommodation with the Roman occupiers of Palestine and considered probably the Romans blessed during those times, people with frozen hearts consider money and material wealth and power as the only blessings there are in this world. These are people who will say, bakit yung kapitbahay ko, corrupt naman? Ang yaman-yaman, binibless pa rin ni Lord. Kung ganyan ka po mag-isip, kapatid, frozen delight na ang heart mo. Ipatunaw mo na yan kay Lord. The fifth mark of a frozen heart is egoism. This is kayabangan at pagkamakasarili, when the correct basis for morality is self-interest. You know, all of life is about me. Ego really means easing God out of our lives. Again, ipatunaw mo na yan kay Lord. And the sixth mark of a frozen heart is negativism. Yung meron kang persistent defiance of authority. Yes, even church authorities. And you refuse to obey instructions. Or you have habitual skepticism. That is a strong tendency to be pessimistic, to assess situations in the worst light, or to be unreasonably skeptical about generally accepted beliefs. So, kapatid, how is your heart today? Frozen na ba? O nanlalamig pa lang? Agapan na natin yan. Tignan natin again the marks of a frozen heart. Fatalism, rabid lust for power and control, obnoxious attitude, behavior, and character, Sadducite mindset, egoism, and negativism. Ano ba ang prescriptions ng Catholic Church for frozen hearts? Well, the Church prescribes this. The first set of prescriptions are the 7 spiritual acts to revive frozen hearts. They are the spiritual works of mercy. 1. Admonish the sinner. 2. Instruct the ignorant. 3. Counsel the doubtful. 4. Comfort the sorrowful. 5. Bear wrongs patiently. 6. Forgive all injuries. 7. Pray for the living and the dead. The second set of prescriptions are the 7 corporal acts to revive frozen hearts. We call this the corporal acts of mercy. Number 1, to feed the hungry. Number 2, to give drink to the thirsty. Number 3, to clothe the naked. 4, to shelter the homeless. 5, to visit the imprisoned. 6, to visit the sick. And 7, to bury the dead. Let our prayer be, Lord, grant me courage. Lord, grant me strength. Grant me compassion, that I may be your heart today. Amen.